Hi Travel Start. This video is going to be a little bit different. You guys know I usually do my intro and tell you guys to subscribe and become part of our family, and all of that is true. And it became abundantly clear to me that it's hard for people to want to get to know you unless they know that you care. And it's hard for people to know that you care if they don't know anything about you, right? I feel that I've been pretty open. I only have 19 subscribers right now, not only, and I love you guys, thank you to the 19. But the goal is really to grow a community of people that travel, that are open to traveling together, right? Getting out and seeing the world. And the goal is to introduce Travel Start to people that don't know that we exist, so that when they get ready to start planning their travel, they say, hey, you know what? I remember, and I think I like her, so I'm going to give her a shot to send out some quotes and, so on and so forth, right? You guys get it. But how would you ever do that? How would you ever know that I exist? How would you ever know that Travel Start is out there if you guys don't come across me or my content or my Facebook page or my Instagram page or whatever else? So, and even if you do, how do you tell me apart from someone else that also has, their 19 subscribers and they're excited because they're growing? How would you make the decision between another person? I heard somewhere that, you guys know the saying, right? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. There's the saying. And that's true. So I thought I would chat with you guys a little bit about me and how I came to this situation. There's other videos on the channel about myself and about Travel Start. But at this juncture in my channel on YouTube, at this juncture in Travel Start's history, it's worth it to me to revisit this topic, maybe from a different aspect, I guess. So it's funny, my phone is telling me that I should be shooting right now, and guess what I'm doing? I'm at my shoot. Okay. So I am one of 7 children. My father passed away. My 4 elder siblings have a different father. We have the same, all 7, same mother. And one of my second to the oldest brother passed away a couple of years ago. So we've had some sadness and some tragedy in our family. I'm happily married, 24 years. It'll be 25 years in this coming June. And I'm madly in love, and I'm mad about him. Sometimes he makes me want to strangle him, but I can't talk about him without smiling. So there you go. I have 2 children that are alive. I did have a 32-week fetal demise. For those of you who don't know what that means, the baby was growing and then her heart stopped growing, and I still had to give birth. My oldest son was born in 1998, so he's what, 21, 22 now? And she would have been 2 years older, so she would have been right around 24 right now. Yeah, it was a girl. I've lived with different health issues my whole entire life. I've had some surgeries, and I always get back to normal. And magically, horribly, I ended up with a gastrointestinal issue. So your digestive tract starts at your mouth and ends, where poop comes out. And that system for me is pretty broken. I can go from being fine this second to being very sick the next, and I don't know how or when it's going to happen. So this year we had the group cruise planned for Travel Start, and I got sick right before we were supposed to leave. I had an episode, kind of a flare-up, if you will. And anyhow, it was right around the time COVID hit, and we ended up not no one could go on the cruise. Turns out the Epic, we couldn't try. The Epic didn't sail. That sailing never happened, you guys. Just so you know. You know, it wasn't me, it was the Epic. I do everything that I can to fight through not being sick, and I do everything to fight through when I am sick. There are days when I'm down and I just can't get up. And so as I live with this health issue, there are times when I plan to do something and, you know, I get knocked backwards and I can't. I knew in my early 20s, when I was having other health issues, that I was going to have to find something to do that had, you know, some flexibility in it. And, yeah. So as a teenager, my parents had started this thing with this travel company, and it was like back when, like Macintosh days, you know what I'm saying? Like way back when. We had one of those old computers and we had the floppy disk drive and we shoved it in, and then you could log on to a website, and it was back when you had dial-up, so and then you would get in and then you could like book like airline tickets and stuff like that. I thought that was the coolest thing. So flash forward to, I want to say it was 2015 when I first got involved with travel. I was in, before I tell you that part, let me say this. I started an event planning business because I figured, you know, in the beginning I would have a lot of hard work to do, but eventually I could farm out some of the work, right? So I could hire other like planners or designers underneath me that may be able to plan out or follow through on those day-to-day things on days when I wasn't feeling well. And part of being an event planner, you want to be a one-stop shop, okay? So you want to do the wedding, you know, you want to do the design for the wedding, you want to plan how the wedding is going to flow, you want to be able to do their invitations, you want to be able to offer skincare, you want to be able to offer their honeymoon services and travel services, you want to be able to offer their jewelry for the day of. You don't want them to have to go to 45 other people. You want to keep a lot of that stuff in-house. Now, there are times when you want a professional. I have found out that for me, invitations are not my thing. I would rather them get a professional. I have found out that, and this is not because I tried, but I knew right off the top, DJ, you want the DJ to, you want a good DJ, you want a great photographer, you want a great videographer, you want a great officiant. Like, there are things that you will hire other people for because they are professionals and because they do what they do, right? Okay, florist, right? You want a really great florist. Nobody wants to come in, pay a bunch of money, and then have their flowers half dead. Like, it's not okay. And then you also want to be able to offer destination weddings. So you guys see where this is going, right? So I had met a wonderful woman named Katie who was teaching the course that I took for the wedding planning business. And then after I took that course, it just happened that I was at this mixer for the Wedding Planning Association and synced up with her, and then she invited me a year or so later, a year and a half later, over to a mixer that she had at her house, and we got to talking about travel, and the rest was history. I was excited and into travel. So you guys, after that happened, I decided that that life was going to be a little bit different. That I knew I needed to work hard at this because what I do every day is ultrasound, and I love ultrasound, but there's not a lot of flexibility in ultrasound. So that's how I came into travel. That is how I became who you see before you. But there's a part of the story that I left out. My second to the oldest brother passed away. I told you guys that. And before he passed away, and I'm talking like 2 months before he passed away, we had a group cruise that we planned for our family. And that group cruise, so my mother went, my sisters went, a couple of my nieces went, a couple of my cousins went, some of my nephews went. Actually, none of my brothers made it on that particular cruise. Not one of them. I'm not sure why that happens, but the boys don't tend to make it on the cruises sometimes. And so we had planned this cruise, and Mom was there, and our family was there, and we were all having fun, and we were enjoying each other, my sister and her husband, and so on and so forth. And you know, the one thing that I regret was that the boys didn't make it on this cruise, because it would have been the last time we were all together as a family, right? And so it just really, like, it hit me hard. I always knew that we should make memories together. I always knew that it was important that we spent time together, and I always knew okay, where was I? So I always knew that it was important that we made memories. I knew that it was important that we got away together. I knew that it was important that things things can change and you can lose people, and many times it's not expected. Like, it's not like they get this diagnosis and you're like, okay, we were expecting this, they're only going to be here another 6 months or another year. Sometimes it happens like that. And so it became kind of my mission in life to make sure that my family makes memories. It became my mission in life to love on the people that I'm around. It became my mission to make sure that I tell people that I love them and that I care about them, because God only knows, right? God only knows. So, but travel even more so became like the forefront of my mind, that, hey, we should really make sure we get this part done, you guys. Like, it's important. It's as important as paying your bills. It's as important as getting your checkups. It's important. So, honestly, I have a couple of regrets, and one is that I never got to make these kind of memories with the brother that passed away, and I never got to make these kind of memories with my father, who also passed away. I didn't get them, and I don't want that to be the case with the family that I have still existing and with me. So I would say the same thing to you guys. If you have family, if you have people that you care about, it's a good time to make memories with those people. For a while, you guys, we've had to do it at home. We had to make dinner at home and spend time with our loved ones here. But as the world is starting to open back up again, and travel's opening up, and markets are opening up, and all, it's time to get back to making those memories that sometimes only come once in a lifetime, right? Okay, so that is totally enough about me, you guys. That's enough. I hope this is a different, vantage point of who I am and how I got to be here and what's happening in my life and the things that are, valuable and important to me, at least some of them. So, for those of you that chose to watch, thank you so much. And as always, you're in my prayers and my thoughts. I hope that you're well, healthy, and happy. And I will see you guys on the very next video, okay? Bye, guys. Bye.